The theme for the first Project Quilting Challenge of the year is mythology. And for my 15 minutes to quilt today, I'm going to work on my mythical creatures quilt. Let's make every day a little more creative. I dedicate at least 15 minutes a day to quilting, and I invite you to join me as you work on your own projects. Let's share our progress and inspire each other on this creative journey. In the last 5 videos, we worked on making the applique and sandwiching and birthing the mythical creatures quilt for the Project Quilting Challenge. And today, I am quilting it and adding the finishing touches. And stay tuned till the end for the grand reveal. With the project quilting deadline coming up, I fused the opening and submitted this project. But then I decided that I was having too much fun to stop here with this quilt. In the past, I've worked on quilts even years after I had considered them to be finished. I want to give you a quick look at what the quilt looks like now. Quilted around the edges and the border. I've also secured all of the applique that is on the creature, the al-Buraq. I did not quilt any of the background, and that's because I really couldn't think of a quilting design, but what I decided to do instead is to add some light beading. And I found some beads that I can use. This is way more than I need. I had a package of beads here, and what I did was I took out the whole container and just put back the beads that were too big for this. And then I really like this. I was going to initially use some seed beads. So initially I was thinking about using these little things, which I guess would be okay, but once I found these, I really like the way the sequence mirrors the stripes in the design. And so I'm going to use those for sure, and then just add some other, like the gold beads, like these. It's a little bit bigger, and I think it just goes better with the design. So I'm just going to, my biggest thing right now is just going to have to be limiting how many that I add, because this is just way too many to be adding. But I just want to put some random ones throughout the quilt. I'm not going to like just put them in any particular place, but just some random beads in there to represent the night sky. I am going to try to go through all 3 layers so that it'll be like a quilting stitch as well. It doesn't really need a lot, but I'm just going to add a few before I can call this quilt done. I was playing around with my scraps, and I made this little label for my quilt. And so now I'm going to go ahead and press this on the back of the quilt. Here's the back of the quilt. So I'm trying to find a good place. Usually I put it on the side that's going to wind up being on the bottom left of the quilt, so I guess it'll be on this side. Although I think I kind of like it facing the back. Yeah, it'll be fine here. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and take out the fusible. The paper from the fusible. Place it in place. Oh, there's not a lot of fusible on the back of this one. Okay, so there's no fusible on the back of this because I didn't have a lot of fusible on this fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and press some onto this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it to the right shape so that it doesn't mess up my iron. This one I also need to do. This one too big. It's okay. this in place. This part. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Those are pretty quick seconds. Alright, so this is here, and I can just go ahead and place her in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this one was underneath. Get off the fusible here. That's not staying very well. Gonna cover up her chin a little bit, her cheek. Okay, so I wrote this in pencil, so I'm going to have to get my fabric marker and write my name on it again. But I think this looks okay. Her forehead is kind of wide, but I think it's fine. And then, let me show you the front. So I added some beads to this quilt so that it would have some nice stars on it. So I think it looks pretty good with the stars. And I just put the beads all in the center brown section, and I didn't put any anywhere else. I think that if I try to add them any place else, it'll just be they won't really get a lot of attention. It'll just be wasting beads at that point. So here's what it looks like on the back. You can see the horse. You can see the wings. And I've trimmed off most of the extra threads, but there's just a few. Most of the beads I did not go all the way through to the back, but I did do a little bit just to make sure that some of the section was secure. So yep, this quilt is finished. This is a quilt that I made for the Project Quilting Challenge. It's the first quilting challenge for the year. The theme for the first Project Quilting Challenge of the year is mythology, and this is my submission for that challenge. It's called an al-Buraq. It's basically a horse with eagle's wings and a human head, and sometimes it also has a peacock tail, and my horse includes all of that. And it's got shiny fabric for a frame. I've also used beads in the background to represent the night sky. It also has a fun label. This quilt is made with fusible applique. The border is also fused on, and then it's all quilted down. And I think these fun fabrics add a great mood to the mythology genre. This quilt really let my childhood self come out. So I was trying to add an ethnic vibe to it with the fun fabrics. This is Japanese fabric here. And these paisleys and everything to me had a nice mood to it. The tail to me looks like a peacock. And the headdress also kind of gives me that peacock vibe. And so it really has that great mythical creatures vibe to it. And I really enjoyed making this quilt. I hope that you really enjoyed watching this mythical creature quilt come to life, the al-Buraq. And I'll put a link to the playlist here in case you missed any of the videos. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support, and I hope to see you again in the next video.